What up, YouTube? This is Daniel Rucker with Truth Table. Welcome to the table. You guys know what I do when I get on this camera. I get in the kitchen, I get cooking. Today is no different. Gentlemen, I have something to address with you. It's a real problem, and we need to talk about it. See, I've been observing the content online. I've been observing the manosphere. I've been observing the market as it is unfolding. And I'm starting to see that a part of the problem is that we have a lot of men out here who think that they have to buy their value when it comes to dealing with women. And that's what I wanted to discuss today. Part of the issue that we're experiencing with the expectation that is the modern woman is that you got so many guys out here who are pumping the market full of unnecessary spending, unnecessary experiences, all to gain the attention from women that, mind you, gentlemen, has always been on us. See, a time ago, years and years ago, maybe even centuries ago, men didn't have to do all of what's being done now. The excessive amount of pandering that is happening is quite sickening, actually. And I think there is so much misplaced masculinity, so much misplaced understanding of what the female nature really exists of. See, gentlemen, the moment you realize that they don't control the market, we do. We always have, and we continue to. But if you have opposing sides, if you have solid men on one end, and then you have a bunch of goobers and betas in the other end, well, there's a separation. There's distortion. We need to get on the same page, gentlemen. Ultimately, every man should be looking out for every other man in regards to how he's going to move about the world, especially when he starts to deal with women. My issue with it is that I don't understand why men don't get that women should earn everything. They should earn compliments. They should earn time. They should definitely earn experiences and gifts. You know, the quickest way to spoil a child or an employee or someone under your tutelage is to give them the full range of your financial abilities, power, energy, and possibility without them first earning it. Why can I say this with a pure and utter confidence? I have lived it, witnessed it. I've also studied it. See, us as men have to be very careful on what it is that we create as the standard for the women we deal with and then the women in the world. Why? All of this stuff that you hear online, all of these women going on to their blogs and their IGs and all of this stuff, all of this bravado, all of this confidence, all of this ego comes from the very certainty and the awareness that they are certain and sure that some guy, maybe not all, but some guy, if not a lot of guys, will pander to their hips, to their lips, to their manufactured sex appeal, all to participate in a few seconds or maybe a few minutes of false attention. See, one of the stances I took in my life years and years ago was that I wasn't going to participate in going to strip clubs. Now, have I been to a strip club? Yes, a few. And it was mainly because I wanted to gain a real life experience to determine if it was something that I didn't actually like. One of the things I do in my life, gentlemen, is that I mostly built my standards, not all, but mostly will build my standards off of lived experience or someone else's lived experience. But the strip club for me was a sucker exchange. You know, I felt, and yes, I'm going to use the word felt, that a man that goes to the strip club and pays a strange woman for attention is a disturbed man. Now, I know there's some men that's listening to the sound of my voice and be like, nah, D, you missed it, man. You know, you don't understand, man. The strip club, that's my thing. Kudos to you. I got women in real life. I'll pull baddies in real life. To me, it made no sense to pay for attention that I was getting for free. See, strippers are there for a purpose. They have a job. They are there to create a fantasy, an illusion, an exchange. They are there to buy into or participate in your own imaginary fantasy, gentlemen. And maybe I'm just not wired that way. You know, I'm a different type of guy, but I just couldn't wrap my mind around why would I go somewhere, pay to get in, and then pay for attention. That didn't make any sense to me. Now I can hear some of you guys on the other end be like, well, maybe you was broke. Maybe you didn't have the money. You know, it ain't nothing to trick off 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, whatever. Never was about the money, gentlemen. What it was that I have a very high standard of the type of man I am. And my standard for me and how I view me didn't align with me participating in an environment like the strip club where any guy can go, mind you, who has money and time and pay that same stripper that don't like him, don't dig him, don't want him, is using him, is exploiting him, and he knows he's being exploited. I couldn't volunteer with that. I couldn't rock with that. It's just not how I move. So, back to my point. The same way I didn't participate in strip clubs and those things, in the same way that when I was dating, especially actively and aggressively, I set a standard. I understood what I was bringing to the equation. I understood what I was bringing to the table. I understood what it was to experience a man like myself. And any young lady that was privileged enough to gain my attention and keep it, I was not going to be overly funding those experiences. Why should I pay for her to spend time with me in my awesomeness? Why should I be taking her on trips and going to Disneyland and all these things if she has not earned it? And that's where I'm going to part. I'm not saying as men that you shouldn't create avenues to where young ladies can experience you, whether that be your career. Let's say you play ball or something, or you're an artist and you're creative, you're in the studio, whatever. And you want her to participate. You want to see her, you want to have her see you in your glory. Great, good, I get it. But sometimes, gentlemen, you gotta be careful on what that looks like. So many guys are willing to buy women's attention. Shoes, purses, trinkets, gifts. And these women have not earned that option. That's my problem. If you're gonna be effective, and if you're gonna stand with the solid men over here, then you have to adopt this principle. You have to understand that the Birkins and the Gucci's and the Balenciagas, it don't matter if you can afford it. It's all based on what has she earned. One of the things I wanted to touch on too really quickly is you gotta be careful not to put quality garments on crappy women. A lot of guys don't even distinguish the brands for what they stand for and they exemplify. Balenciaga, Gucci, Prada, Dolce & Gabbana, all of those, houses, fashion, you guys know the brands, stand for a standard. They have a marketability that exemplifies excellence. Why would a man buy a thotty or some trash female a $5,000 purse, $2,000 heels, a $5,000, $10,000 coat when she's doo-doo in her character, she's doo-doo in her mindset? Makes no sense to me, gentlemen. And I wanted to jump on the camera today to talk to you guys personally because it needs to stop. We as men have to get back to understanding that we are the orchestrators, we are the creators of the reality that is. And what you permit, what you patronize, what you create as far as the flow and what is admissible, gentlemen. Well, guess what? Some other man or men collectively are going to have to deal with your lack of being able to stand up and handle your business. This is Daniel Rucker with True Table signing out. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you have not already done so, go ahead and hit the like button. Go ahead and subscribe. To all my new subscribers, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. You made a good choice. Welcome to the True Table family. And I'm going to continue to bring this content. Matter of fact, tomorrow's episode is going to be a sub-series of the ongoing series that is going to be single mothers and all of the nuts and bolts involved in that. I told you guys I was going to talk about it and I was going to pull it apart. Specifically, I'm going to speak to what you deal with dating a woman with the irate baby daddy and what that situation potentially could cause for you and how to handle it most effectively. So this is Daniel Rucker with True Table signing out. Thank you guys. Y'all have a good one.